We have got another new promo leaked, and I don't know where they're all going to come in or where they're coming from. I'm hoping it means more swaps, but we'll get into that in a sec. The gameplay has straight up just been fully exposed. I mean, it's just awful. It's awful stuff. The FC Pro Open happened today, and it was just terrible. And also, I think EA must still be on vacation. They must have got Monday off, too, because we heard nothing about any of the problems that have been happening the last about 3-4 days. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. Okay, I'm gonna open this campaign mix pack that came out today to start the video because you know what, fuck it, I don't care. Also, the market has pretty much done exactly what we expected it to, so that's nice to see. But I want to also say just thank you all for being here. For those of you who just like the video every day without me even asking, I can't thank you enough. And if you guys could like today's video, I would do it whatever you ask me. You know what, I'm yours. If you like today's video, I'm gonna stop talking now. But okay, I really like the fact that we can actually reveal one at a time here for these picks, just because that's just different and fun. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna reveal one at a time here. Let's do the middle one first, because why not? We get 88 Marta. Okay, I mean, it's a fun card, but not actually going to use her, probably. Lise Malou, who I feel like is going to be an Evo Demon later, but is probably going to be put in an SBC, let's be real. And then last but not least, anything usable potentially here? No, we don't. Okay, I'll take Lise Malou just because, like I said, Evo Demon, but I think he's going to be probably going straight into an SBC, let's be honest. But okay, talked yesterday about the XP problem. Once again, another day of no XP being released, and people on Reddit and Twitter and stuff were finally kind of like really talking about it today. And like I said before, it's mainly because I think of the fact that we're going to get a paid season pass within the next month, 2, 3, something like that. And they're going to introduce it to me, because otherwise this change doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, in my opinion. It still was kind of like a grind to get towards the new season in the last season, but it wasn't like hard. It just took time, which I appreciate, because then all skill levels could do it, which all skill levels still can do it, but it's just more time consuming now. It's just different. It's harder, which I'm happy people are kind of talking about now. I don't think it had anything to do with my video yesterday, but I do appreciate the fact that it's kind of being talked about more now over the last like 24 hours or so. And also the mode mastery stuff really does feel like the casuals are getting fucked over here. And keep in mind that I think there needs to be exclusive rewards for top tier players, but all FUT champs and rivals are better rewards for the higher up you are. Like, that's the whole point of the system. So we already kind of are getting that. And then when you add in swaps, that's like, well, you kind of have to finish Elite 2 squad battles, get a somewhat high rank in rivals and champs to like get most of them. It's kind of like not changing things that much. It's not icon swaps where you could go out and you could grind all the tokens, even though it was probably more time consuming. You could just go out and grind a semi-pro squad battles game and get them, right? Now it's like, oh yeah, you gotta finish high-end shit to like actually get the top rewards, which just feels like a change that didn't need to be there. I mean, I appreciate the fact that casuals can grind the menus now a little bit better. Like, they still can do that, but why? Why make the mode mastery shit just also like your tiered rewards and champs and rivals? I don't get that part, and maybe I'm being too harsh on the system, but I don't get that change myself. Like, why get rid of icon swaps a few years back, right? Then you have the new season progress, which was kind of that way for the casual to basically be grinders without being very good. Now you've taken away more XP from us, which the casuals can still get over time. Like, there's no like game limit in the friendlies like there used to be, because holy fuck, that was awful. Thank God that's gone. But it just feels like it doesn't make any sense to me why you're trying to get casuals back on the game, and then you still like, well, you got to be really good actually, and like you need a really good team, because in order to be really good, you need a really good team. You guys spend money, you fucking idiots, dumbasses. Okay, anyway, on to the news now. Donk has a new car design added apparently, and wow, that looks good. I'll be honest with you, that looks damn good. And there was no name for it up until I think just a few hours ago, and then AC tweeted out the car design is called GLOBETROTTERS. So we get a GLOBETROTTERS car design. All right, if you have any idea what that could mean, let me know in the comments. But we have this design leaked. We obviously have winter wildcards that we know is coming out for the course of like 2 weeks of the winter, and people might have forgotten we have another promo leak like a week back now, and that was Ultimate Succession. There's the base card, here is the hero design, and here is the icon design. So this yet to come out. Obviously we have another week of Thunderstruck, 2 weeks of winter wildcard, and Succession and Globetrotters. That makes me think that one of these promos is probably going to not be like a legitimate actual promo, because most of the time we see 2-week promos now. I mean, almost every promo that comes out ends up being 2 weeks, which I think is stupid, but I think that that's kind of what EA like to do. So how do we have room for 2 weeks of Globetrotters and 2 weeks potentially of Succession, and then Winter Wildcards, and then Future Stars and Team of the Year and all this stuff that's coming out within the next like 2 months? Plus a week and a half of Thunderstruck left. I don't know. I'm hoping that this is going to be another swap type thing where mode mastery, we didn't have any idea it was going to be swaps. I'm hoping one of these designs is something along the same lines. Okay, the next leak is from who else? It's FUD Agent, and he's telling you that a new evolution is set to come soon. No restriction on position. So that doesn't give us any information at all. And the cards that he was telling who could fit in and who couldn't down here, like he responded to like no or yes to some of these cards, and I couldn't find any trend whatsoever on what it looked like. It basically was like less than 83 maybe with no playstyle plus is like what I thought it could be. And it might be 84 actually, because he does say here that Van Eyck can be used in this new evolution, or one of the new evolutions coming up here. And he also says that Marmouche can be used in one of the new evos coming up here as well. So maybe it's 84, but this one has a playstyle plus. I swear that every playstyle plus card he responded to, like, you couldn't use. So I don't know. Who knows? FUD Agents. Who the fuck is this guy? All right. And okay, guys, if you wanted to get the rewards for the FC Pro Open today, like watching the FC Pro Open, yeah, I mean, obviously the pro gameplay is usually kind of a shit show. I would say it's usually just them abusing broken mechanics, because that's not their fault. That's just how, if you're trying to play this game for money, that's how it's going to be, obviously. But if you watched this one, there is quite literally, it is FIFA 19-esque, where it's extremely rare to find a goal that's not like, oh, that was just some broken shit, basically. If you wanted to score, it's a Van Dijk corner, it's a first-time power shot, it's a first-time lob pass. I mean, other than that, it is hard to find a goal that wasn't like that. You know, EA only tweeted out like a couple of goals from this FC Pro Open day today, and the first-time power shot with Valverde there, of course. I mean, it really is tough to watch, and this is kind of why to me I'm stunned that the human element to this, like the pride, doesn't take over, because you know you have artificial viewership, right? You know that when you max out at 181,000 viewers, but yet the average viewership is probably more like 100,000 less than that, which actually isn't that out of the realm of the usual numbers you see on Twitch. So maybe it is maybe like less than I'm giving it credit for. I can acknowledge that, but to me, a lot of their viewership appears to be very artificial because you're just trying to get rewards, right? So you know that higher ups at EA who are running this event know that, plus you have the gameplay that's like not entertaining to watch, really. And I know that that's subjective, but I feel like that's the opinion that the majority of people have. I'd be willing to say that. So to me, I'm always just curious about like the human element, the human side of it, where it's like the people running this, how do they feel about it? Are they happy of how this is turning out, or are they just like, damn, this does suck? You know, I do wonder what they think about it. If you want all the pros tactics, by the way, you can type these codes in and they do have all their tactics, which is kind of cool. But okay, also, I thought EA went back to work today, right? The stuttering on PC is awful for a lot of people out there. We got the XP problem where it's still bugged, and there was just nothing today. Still 0 tweets from EA. They might still be on vacation. Like, somebody hopped in there today. Like, whose job is it to like acknowledge the bugs, use the direct Twitter account, talk about them? Because the whole day today, what did they do? It's obvious that there's a couple of really obvious bugs that have been around for days now, and they went back to work today, didn't discuss them. So what were they doing? Were they busy with other shit? I don't know. This is why I believe that like their resources, their people that work on the game, the number of people that work on the game is significantly lower than we think, and they're busy doing other shit, and they're like, oh, we couldn't get to that today. So I don't know, but they're still on vacation, or they have 4 employees. You decide which one's worse. I don't know. And also I want to say that FUTGG has been just absolutely killing it. Like, their website is so superior to FUTBin now. It's actually insane. I know I'm not sponsored by them. Please sponsor me. If you guys didn't know this, it was a little while ago. FUTBin Premium actually went free. So now a lot of the features like price notifications, market index, SBC price notifications, compare 3+ players now, all that stuff was locked behind a paywall before. Now it's all free. The only thing that you can buy now is like a no ads package. But so to me, this updates because straight up because FUTGG is just better. I think that this is why, hey, competition, kind of a good thing, right? Kind of a good thing for us. It'd be cool to have that once in a while. And UFL is coming out very shortly. I'll be playing that. Please, God, please God, Got it. Okay, onto the market. It's kind of going up like we thought it might. Eafc we saw yesterday, who's like 290. He's 316 now, which is nice to see. It's a lot of gameplay demand right now, right? It was just kind of bound to rise. J. Roberto was 770, I think, yesterday. 770, 760s, 829 now. I think the best way to go about doing things would be to sell maybe Wednesday morning, late Tuesday night. Try and get your games in today as much as you possibly can. If you can't get them in, then I'd probably hold on to your cards all the way until like peak weekend league demand. That's probably what I would say, like Saturday morning or Friday night, something like that. If you don't end up getting all your games done by today, there's just always a chance every Friday that comes out, we see a big market drop. So I don't like holding cards longer than a week, as you guys probably know that by now. But even Gold Mbappe is 2.5 right now, up 100K. So yeah, it's kind of my outlook for the market, how I'm going to navigate through stuff at the moment. I'm assuming we'll see Thunderstruck Team 2 leaks probably starting tomorrow, if I had to guess. So, okay, let's read the comment section now. We got Lon Duder, who says, think the roles has given some clarity to what your player will do on the pitch. I agree with that, but it's ultimately a hindrance when you pack a sick card and does not have a role plus or plus plus, makes you not want to use it, and that's lame. Exactly. And this is what EA do a lot when there is a positive to something that they release, but also it's probably mostly a negative, or like maybe it's a positive and a negative, like it kind of washes out. But in this case, to me, I would say it's probably mostly negative, because now you can't use certain players if you're using certain instructions, right? Which I think that can be subjective. The people might not like that or might like that. So maybe I'm in the minority there where I don't like that. I like the instructions themselves. Just, I said this yesterday, like I would rather be able to use whatever card and whatever instruction I wanted to, rather than having the cards basically be locked behind whatever EA want your instructions to be when you use the card. The point I was trying to make is, like, when they add something to the game that kind of has a positive to it, like this does, and also has a negative to it, people will be like, hey, look at the positive. People will be like, hey, no, it's a negative. And then you have that butting of heads where it's like both people are not necessarily wrong. And here's the other side of that, where it's like Groove Lock says roles actually is not bad, so you don't have jerk-offs playing Holland as a winger and Joselu as a wingback. And that is true. Like, you don't want the game to be where you can play those players there. So to me, the compromise there is like, yeah, you can't play Joselu as a right back if his position is not literally right back or alternate position, but you can play him as a striker, as a false nine, poacher, advanced forward, whatever you want to, right? With no penalty. That to me is like the compromise there. So I do agree that there's good and bad to him. And every day this comment gets thumbed up. Like, hey, 24-hour stream, don't forget, don't fail us. I will prove the haters wrong, okay? I will be there. 24 straight hours. How many minutes is that? Can't do math in my head. I will be there, all right? Well, you'll be there is the question. Ed Zombie says, don't need a separate season pass. Just do what COD/Fortnite do. Buy each level at 100 FC points. Everyone's a winner. And I actually don't hate that either. You might say that, like, yeah, adding another sort of microtransaction to the game can't be a positive, but at least with that, you know what you're buying. Ironically, a paid season pass I like way more than the gambling system that's in the game, so it's hard to criticize it too much, because like, you know what you're buying when you buy it. So hard to say that it's some sort of awful practice, which I think that, yes, it still kind of is, because like a lot of gambling's involved, but it's really not nearly as bad as just the gambling in the game in general. So I think a paid season pass gets like a ton of shit, and honestly, it's probably better for the consumer than really a lot of other stuff is in this game. And then Anubis saying, like, bro said everyone has a unique team, like the first 2.5 months of the game's life wasn't 90% of the player base running Serie A or French squads, and I agree with that. I actually was thinking to myself yesterday, I was like, there were 2 comments yesterday saying, I like how everyone has more unique teams. I'm like, you know, I think there is a little bit more variety this year, but it's not, like, we can't act like it's some sort of like huge positive with the game, to be honest with you. And maybe that is me once again looking at things with the hater goggles on, but I don't, like, if you're looking at Div, yeah, like you said, Div 4 and up, when I was in Elite Division this year for the first time, it's the same thing. And I know that that's the very small minority of the community that's in like higher divisions. So that might be a bad way of looking at it, but the player variety, it's not like it's that much different. I don't think it's enough to be like, hey, that's a positive of this game. I don't think so myself, and maybe I'm faded, but I think I'm done yapping. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all so much. I love you all.